that being a rich wife is so easy. All you do is shop and go to beauty salons. That's why everybody feels like they can do this. But I know the reality, because I was raised by a rich wife. It's one thing for a man to get rich, and a completely different task for him to maintain rich. My father always told me, with the right woman, you can achieve your wildest dreams. And the wrong woman can make you go in debt, no matter how wealthy you are. So today, let's test, do you have the qualities to be a rich wife? First, you have to be the manager of a household. From nannies to bodyguards and drivers, you are not only managing all of the schedules, but you are also making sure that no gossip leaks out from the house.
This is Connie.
Hi, Connie.
Connie and Mona are like the best friends and everything. She's the second nanny.
I would call her a second mum.
Because blackmailing is the thing.
No, and then the blackmailing, 50,000 and 40,000 and 30,000.
But you found her through word of mouth, right? Not through an agency.
Many people, they think recruit staff in houses is easy. It's not easy at all.
The reason why you have to be in great relationship with all of the house staff, apart from you just being a decent person, is because what usually happens is that your opponent, or as we like to call them, enemy, would come straight to your house staff and ask for some details. What is going on in the house? What they're asking for is blackmail, obviously. And they will call some price, which is obviously higher than the salary. And the only reason why staff would refuse to do this, if you have good relationship with them. So when you're a wife, you have to think long-term. You can never act in short-term tempers and have to think about how it will impact you and your family in the long run. You have to understand, when you're a rich wife, you can no longer afford yapping.
I never told my girlfriends because they would just have a field day with that one. Right. Oh God, he's so aggressive, and why do you take that and this, and you know what I mean? It would just have exacerbated it.
Never discuss your partner in a negative light with anybody. Listen, I have two friends. Both of them are married. One of them comes to me and always tells me all of the problems with her husband. As a result, I listen to her and give my input. Sometimes that input is me saying something bad about the guy as well. And I feel comfortable doing this because she speaks like this about him, and if she's coming to me and tells me about their problems, I feel like I can also give an advice. And then I have another friend. I have no idea what is going on in her marriage. It seems like it's a completely perfect one, but I would never dare to even say anything bad about her husband because she herself never said anything bad about him. And that's the thing. Both of them showed either their boundaries or lack of their boundaries. And the way how you treat your partner is going to be how others around you treat them as well. Quick announcement. As I'm preparing for my wedding, which is happening in the end of April 2026, I've been growing out my hair and really working on my skincare routine. My problem with skincare has always been staying consistent. Between constant filming, traveling, and running privileged few, it's hard to keep up and carry a lot of items with me. So I committed to one consistent thing, my Cure LED mask. It's a quick and effective 3-minute treatment, which I can literally do anywhere. It's clinically backed to improve firmness and skin texture. It has 5 light wavelengths, blue for breakouts, amber and red for glow, and deep red and infrared for collagen. It's also dermatologist recommended and trusted by experts such as Dr. Shah and Dr. Maxfield. I love that it's wireless and hands-free. I'll turn it on, read a few pages, or just check emails, and that's it. Cure also has an app where you can track your progress, customize treatment programs, and actually see improvements over time, which keeps me consistent and accountable. If you get the LED mask right now, Cure is also giving you the neck and décolletage system for free. It's a 10-minute treatment I use before bed, especially now that I'm preparing for the wedding photos where everything shows. If you have an important event coming up, here's my beauty hack. You can target your face and neck together without adding tons of steps. Get the neck and décolletage system for free if you buy the Cure LED mask using my link below. And now, let's get back to our episode. Next is you have to praise him. Every man and woman loves hearing the praise about themselves, but it makes it even more powerful when you hear it from your partner in front of other people.
If you could have a date with someone living or dead, who would it be? my husband.
For example, my mom would always tell me and my sisters, I found the best man for you as a father. You have to be grateful to me. And every time when my dad would hear it, he would giggle and maybe blush a little bit. And the thing is, my mom also made me believe that it's true. Till this day, I believe that my mom found the most perfect man for me as a father. And I think when you also hear such praise, you also feel like you have to play to this role because others expect this from you. You want to show them that they're right about you praising them. So do praise your partners. Next, if your partner is actually a businessman with ambitions of growing his business, one thing you have to understand, girl, and it doesn't look like Instagram reality, is that most of the time you will be cash poor. The reason why my dad didn't have any money when the war has started is not because he didn't have assets. If you would look at his net worth, it looked like he had so much money. But the reality about most of the businessmen is that the moment they get money, they reinvest it because they want the business to grow. So if you're with an entrepreneur, don't be sad when you will learn that most of the time you will be cash poor. Next, embrace his vulnerability. Men like this have so much pressure outside of the house. A pressure to provide, a pressure to be strong. When you achieve success, you have to understand that it's quite a lonely journey. And staying at the top is lonely as well. Friends will betray you, your children will be entitled, relatives will envy you, and your only person with who you can be real and vulnerable is your partner.
But I tended to try to stay away from telling my husband what to do from a policy perspective. And here's the thing, I usually agreed with him on everything he did. I thought that his positions generally aligned with.
So make sure that you do create the safe space for them. Next, ability to stay calm. If your partner is a businessman, the first thing you have to understand is that you will never have stability in your life. 1 month you're making millions and experiencing the highest highs, and the next month you are declaring bankruptcy. True story, by the way. And the thing is, you have to stay calm in both of those conditions. You cannot get overly excited when things are going well, because if you are not stable, the entire family will fall apart. That's what I learned from my mom. She never got overly excited about our highest highs, and I've never seen her depressed.
How do you handle all of the incoming that goes to Facebook, that goes to Mark specifically?
It's hard. The way your gut feels when your best friend comes home and it's like hard day, not sure what needs to come next. We're still so fortunate. Like the touchstone, our family, our kids, and just knowing that we're okay.
Next, you have to be a risk taker. What many women don't understand when their partner is a businessman is that they themselves will also have to take risks.
There was a point in the history of Starbucks where I needed to raise money. We had no money. Sherry was 8 months pregnant with our first child. So her father, he suggested to me that perhaps what I was dreaming about was really a hobby. I was crushed by this. And at that moment in time, Sherry could have easily said, I think my father's right. We've got to get serious. We would have folded to the tent. There'd be no Starbucks. I'd be doing something else. But to her credit, she did not miss a beat. And she said, my father did not have a right to say that to you. I know he's trying to protect me, but we're going to see this through and we're going to raise the money.
One time, my dad got in trouble. It was the 90s, if you know what I'm talking about. Instead of panicking, my mom, who was pregnant and had a small child on her hands, she drove to my dad's closest gas station. That gas station could already be watched, or it could just be empty at this point. But my mom got super lucky, and somehow there was still money on this gas station. So my mom took all of it, and long story short, those money helped us to resolve the issues. There is a saying, if it can be resolved with money, then it's not a problem. It's an expense. You have to keep him grounded. The moment the man starts making the money, for some reason, he thinks that he will always have this money. And then he wants to start spending it. On his wife, on his children, on all of the relatives. It's so easy to be seduced by money and start spending it like there is no tomorrow because you have so much. Guys, as a rich kid myself, the moment a big amount hits my account, I'm living a life and I'm thinking, oh my God, this is gonna last me for years. Never does. In 3 weeks, always called my dad. Now, this burden is on my husband though. But yeah, talking about examples of good women actually, and not me. My mom. One time we flew abroad to shop. I took my friend who was with me and she was shocked by what she was witnessing. My father, a man, was convincing my mom to go to Chanel and buy yet another bag. My mom was responding, I don't need this, I already have so many bags which I'm not wearing. My friend looked at me, Albina, I've never seen a family like this, where a man is convincing a woman to buy a bag. Usually it's the other way around. I'm like, is it really? Because with my parents, it's always like this. But here's the thing. When the war has started in 2014 and we didn't have any money, it turns out that for 40 years, my mom has been saving money. And because of that, my dad was able to start a new business. You have to be secure. Remember, girls, if your man is rich and successful, he will always be surrounded by a lot of young and gorgeous women. And I think the perfect example of this is my personal favorite, Cillian Murphy.
Oh, and there's a woman.
The man is considered to be one of the most handsome men alive. His blue eyes and his character from Peaky Blinders made him a world-famous actor. And not only fans are obsessed with him, but a lot of actresses and models.
There are two kinds of people in this world. There are the people who are obsessed with Peaky Blinders, and then there's the people who haven't seen Peaky Blinders.
Right.
I obviously sit in the first category.
But here's the thing.
He has a wife, Yvonne McGuinness. She's an Irish visual artist. They've met in the late 1990s, long before Peaky Blinders or any fame.
Trying to become an actor, I was a failed musician.
For more than 20 years, they've kept their marriage private, while most celebrity couples treat fame like a performance. Yvonne never needed to follow Cillian to every event to prove that she belonged in his world. She had her own work, her peace, and her confidence.
I adore you.
Cillian even once said that she is the reason why everything works out in his life, which tells you everything you need to know about what kind of woman she is.
It's never your job to keep a man. It's his job to keep you. Be more like her. Next is loyalty. And I'm not talking about cheating. Hopefully this goes without saying. What I'm talking about is that you can never undermine your partner in public. If your partner says that the sky is red, you say that it is. And then when you go home, you can have a private conversation, explain what you didn't agree with, but you never undermine your partner in front of other people. Because the moment you do it publicly, you expect other people to take sides. And the truth is, your family should always be on your side. Because if you, as a partner, don't respect them, others don't either. So loyalty is beyond important. Lastly, I want to leave you with a final story. When I went to Dubai with my father when I was around 17 years old, we ran into my friends. It was my friend, her mom, and her new boyfriend. Unfortunately, my mom couldn't make it on this trip. But their family knew my parents really well. And then, as dinner continued and everybody but my dad and I got drunk, the boyfriend got pissed off with the mom and said something mean to her. He responded, that's my dad's name, would never say this to his wife. And he responded, that's because his wife would never give him reason to say so. And that line really stayed with me. We often want a partner with certain qualities, and we believe we're deserving of those. But the truth is, when you want your partner to be a certain way, you also have to have the certain characters. So the question is, would you rather be admired by strangers or loved by the people who know your flaws? Like, subscribe, and as always, do whatever you want with this information.